YouTube, welcome to my tube. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I like to do my nails. If you've seen my previous videos, either my vlogs or even sometimes like normal videos, I talk about my nails and how I do my own nails at home. So I'm going to be showing you guys my process. I'm definitely going to be trying to as best as I can. And so I'm gonna do hard gels today because I've been trying to let my nails grow. These are my nails now. I did have color on, but I picked it off, so the nails that were long came out a little bit brittle. So they did break some of them. Others, like this one, is still very much long, but you can see that my nail is a lot more sturdy, like it doesn't bend, and before it used to. I used to buy my nails when I was younger, so now my nails are a little bit on the weak side, but that's fine because it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. So I'm not gonna do après because I'm kind of living the short life, you know, the short nail era. I'm doing that right now. So I'm gonna do my hard gel, and yeah, so I'm going to show you guys how I do that. And then I'm also going to be posting eventually at some point a tutorial of how I do my après. So make sure you like and subscribe so that you know when I post the video of my après tutorial along with my other videos. So let's hop into it. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by doing my cuticles, cleaning my cuticles up, as well as cleaning up any leftover gel that I have on the nail and just making the base of my nail smoother. This is part of a kit that I bought when I first bought all my nail stuff. I don't necessarily recommend this drill. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It worked for a while, I think. Not maybe a long time, but a while. It works good. It's not like great, but it works good for the price. And it does come with these two bits. Don't mind the box, it's gone through hell and back. But it comes with both of these. But I do like to use the ceramic drill bits, so I bought these separately. And again, everything is linked in my Amazon storefront. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the what looks like a little football, like that. And this is just for the cuticle area. Like I literally just want to lift up the dead skin, dead nail, all of that that's on my cuticle side, and then we can go ahead and do the base after that. So these drill bits, the ones that are on Amazon, the ceramic ones, they come with instructions for what each one are, but the instructions are only on the images on the Amazon website. So what I did was I screenshotted it. I'll put them here so that you guys can see what I mean by each drill bit comes with its own instruction. Like this one is to take off jewels. This one's a little softer on the surface of the skin of the nail, I mean. This is for working the cuticle, sealing the nail, etc. So these have different instructions. These that come with the drill bit didn't come with instructions. You kind of just got to figure it out and see which one works best for whatever you're trying to do. But I'm going to go in with the yellow one because, like I said, I'm just trying to clean up my surface without damaging it. And this is the smoothest and softest drill bit there is for that when it comes to this, this drill bit kit. Okay, so after you surface clean your nails, they're gonna look like this and they're gonna be all dusty, so you can go ahead and wash them off. You can use soap, or you could just like brush them with the water. I like to use soap because it really gets, with a brush, because it really gets off all the dust that's like stuck in the crevices and stuff like that. So I'll be right back. Another great drill bit to go over after you pass the yellow one to like remove any hard surfaces that are on the nail is this one. I don't know the name of this, but as you can see, it has a little bit of like a roughness, but it's not too bad. This one came in the little kits that came with the drill, and I like to pass that so that it smooths out the rest of the stuff. This is good for removing any rough edges that are along the nail if you have any, and then this one is good for like fully smoothing that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass that over it now. After I pass this bit over my nails, it creates this kind of like dry looking effect, and I like to have that because that creates good adhesion. Anytime your nail is removed or stripped of all oils, it's super important because like I said, it removes all oils and it's easier for the adhesion of the glue, of the gel, of anything you're applying on your nail. Everything will come on easier. So after this bit, I like to go through with this one, which came in this kit. And this just creates like a texture on your nail. It's not like a rough texture. I did it on this hand already and I didn't realize I was recording, but you can kind of see it's just a little bit scratched up, nothing too crazy. It just creates like a little bit more dryness and something for, again, the adhesion to hold on to. And that's what you need, especially when you're doing hard gel or après nails. I don't necessarily know about acrylics because it's not something that I've worked with before, but for these two, I definitely know. And also, I wasn't using this bit for a while because I didn't find the use in it, and let me say, my nails lasted for a decently long time even without using it. But when I started using it, I noticed that my nails lasted 10 times longer. So definitely you want to use this bit before going in with your gel, with your glue, with anything else. This is super important because, like I said, it creates that texture that is easy for everything else to adhere to. So let me do this hand and we'll be right back. Now, you want to go in with this with a gentle hand, and with every other bit also, especially if you're new and this is the first time you'd ever be doing your own nail. You want to go in with a decent speed and also just like a very gentle hand in general, because this isn't something that you've done before and these drills can get very fast. This is a medium speed. Let me show you the full speed. That's the fastest that bit would go. Well, I've never used it at that, even having done this for years, because I don't want to hurt myself and I don't want to ruin my nail bed or anything like that. So I just take it to a medium speed and with a very light hand, I go over all my nails. Even with bits that I know won't do too much damage, like this one or the other one I showed you, I will still go in with a super light hand because, like I said, you don't want to ruin your nail bed and you definitely don't want to hurt yourself. So I just keep that in mind. So once you're done with that, I don't go over and wash my hands or anything. I literally just leave my nails like that. And then the next thing you need is a dehydrator. I use the one that came with the après kit, which we're not going to judge because it's been beat up and gone through everything and back. I have had this for like 3 years. Like I said, I've been doing my nails for a while, so all my stuff is pretty beat up, but it's all right. And like I said, this comes with a dehydrator, a bonder, and a primer. The extend gel and the gel coat, the light, and then obviously the file. Since we're not doing appraise, I'm not gonna be using all of this. I'm only gonna be using this one, which is the pH bonder dehydrator, which is the first step, and then also the primer, which is the second step, and it is acid-free gel primer. There are other primers that I have seen people use on TikTok, and they say they're pretty good, like the pH bonder. I think you can find it on Amazon. They say it's pretty good. I've never used it, but I do swear by these. So I'm gonna be applying first the bonder and then the primer. Now the dehydrator is going to do exactly what it's called. It's going to dehydrate your nails. So any oils that are still on there, it is going to strip your nail of oil. And as you saw, I like to scrub it in because it gets into that texture that we created. I do that also with the primer, and I also like to go one hand at a time because while I do my left hand first because I'm right hand dominant, I don't want this hand to mess up because either way it's gonna get full of oil because I'm putting my hands in specific ways. And this is sticky, so if I put the primer, the primer on while I'm doing my left hand, then anything I do on here that can possibly get on this hand is probably gonna get stuck to the primer. So I like to do one hand at a time to avoid any of that, because then it's a hassle to remove like the little dust or hair that does get on the primer, and you don't want that for a clean stick. So one hand at a time, and now we're gonna scrub in the primer also into your nail. So once I do that, I just set it aside because obviously I'm gonna use it for this hand. And as you can see, the hand is now looking a little bit shiny, and that is literally the glue from the primer that makes it look like that. Think about it like face primer. You need it for your foundation to stick on very well, so you need it for the glue to stick on very well. Okay, so personally, I like to, though my nail is long now, I do like to extend my nail slightly because I do want it to be a little bit lengthier than my natural nail is right now. Once my nail does grow out to the length that I do my fake nail to, I obviously will just apply the hard gel normal, like nail polish, with creating a little bit of a build so that it remains stiff. But for right now, I am gonna be building, so I am gonna be using these. I bought this at a Sally beauty supply store in Miami. You can get these anywhere, on Amazon, on Sally's website, anywhere really. And the idea behind these is just to create a base so that wherever you're gonna extend your nail, it's gonna lie there up until you have a chance to dry it. So you're gonna come back here and pinch to one side. Not too much, because then it takes away the curve, and obviously you want it to still have some sort of natural curve to your nail. And I know some people like to break this, but I've realized that it is easier for me when I'm doing it on myself to just leave it as is and then just fold down. And that creates the best straight line as possible. So the idea is to have the fold go right into your nail so that when it's time to extend, it's gonna fall right on this and follow the exact place where your nail continues, and it's just gonna continue to grow out. I hope that makes sense. You'll see what I mean now. This is what the hard gel looks like inside. Now, this brush is always gonna be a little stiff, so the idea is to dip it in a little bit of acetone, or if not, some alcohol to soften it up so that you have an easy and flexible brush in order to grab the gel. I like to have alcohol on hand just in case anyway, because you're gonna need alcohol when you're done drying your gel. This gel has a sticky base, so once it's done drying, it does have a sticky texture on the top, so it is important to go in with alcohol and remove that, so that again, once you go in with nail polish, you have a smooth base to work on and not a base that's full of lint or dust or anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and use the acetone just to soften up my brush, and I also like to just keep some on hand anyway, because you'll never know when you're gonna need it. So go in and literally just bend it back and forth, and it brings your brush back to life. Now, this is why it's important to have a little towel somewhere where you work, because not only does it pick up dust and lint, but also when you need to dry off your brush, you simply just press down and you reshape with your hand, and there you go. Your brush is back to normal. Okay, so you're gonna go in and just grab a little bit. Literally the tiniest bit. And now the thing about hard gel is that, like you saw right now, it is kinda like, kinda sticky, I wanna say, in terms of when you pull it up, there will be string that's still attached to this. So you have to not go directly on the edge with your brush, but like kind of drag it along it. so that, or do that little twist motion that I did so that you can pick it up without it having still strings attached to it. So what you're gonna do is you're going to go in with a base layer, and by that I mean you're literally going to scrub up against the cuticle slightly. If you notice, I'm still leaving a little bit of space, and then you're just gonna brush down as if you were painting your nail. That creates a base so that when you grab your big blob of gel that's going to create the thickness of the nail you're creating now, it has a smooth way of transitioning from side to side and balancing itself out on your nail. Let me show you what I mean. You're gonna grab your big blob. See what I mean? You see what I mean? It has that sticky substance. So you just wanna boop like that and then twist in like this to bring it all the way in. So you're gonna put your big blob in the center. Now again, if you're a beginner, you can start with a small blob, and I sometimes do because sometimes I like to go one side first like I am right now. And you're gonna do this swaying motion with a flat brush. The idea is to bring down the blob as much as possible down your nail before having to go in with another one. So as you see there, I didn't go all the way down to the edge of my nail, so I'm definitely gonna need another blob to bring down. There comes a point where you have to turn your nail to the side and see the smoothness of your nail. And you see on mine, I don't know if you can tell on camera, let me see. If you see on mine, it's smooth, but there's a little bit of an edge there, right here, where I have to create a smoothness. So another trick in order to create a good apex is flipping your nail over for a little bit. And because you have that first base of hard gel, the gel runs on its own and creates its own natural apex when you flip your finger over. So there, my gel has balanced itself out completely everywhere that I applied the base gel that I did on that first layer. And it looks smooth, you see? Now, if I wanted to stop and just do the layer of my nail, like I said, that's it. I would just put my finger into the dryer, into the LED lamp, and then dry it out and then paint it. That's it. But because I wanted to extend a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with a bigger blob, or a big blob, or as big as possible. Again, do that spinning motion to bring it all in. And I'm gonna put it on the extender paper. So I'm gonna put it there. And again, I'm gonna try, because I don't have that smooth base, I'm gonna try to move it as easily as possible without making it rough or it to look like that. I don't ever want my gel to look sticky like that on the paper. Go back in as much as needed. Now, something to keep in mind, even when creating an extend gel like this, you do have to bring in the side and connect it to the side that's on your nail. So make sure you're bringing the gel on your nail all the way down. To the edge of the nail and connect. And same for this side. And now we're gonna go ahead and put it into the machine for 90 seconds. So now it's dry. If you can hear that. It's gonna squeeze and pull down. Now, obviously, this is not the shape that we are looking for. One of the first things you're gonna do before you even decide to clean your nail is, again, go to the side and see if there's any lumps, edges that you wanna fix before you do start cleaning up the nail, because that way, since it is still sticky from the first layer of gel, you have a base to continue to fix on. So let me check. It's not bad, so I'm gonna go ahead with a paper towel and alcohol. Just like that. And I'm going to wipe my nail off. Very well to remove all the stickiness. Go over with the dry side. And my nail is officially ready to start getting filed and then painted. So I'm gonna file it. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up so I don't get any dust on that. Put it off to a side just so I can show you guys one nail before I continue with the rest. So one of the tips I like to give everyone when they start hard gel is that once it comes time to filing them, make sure you file the edges first, because if anything is gonna break, it's going to be these edges on the side. And if you can catch it before you even get to the part of painting your nail, it saves you a whole lot of time. So I like to literally just, as you see me doing, file the sides up until I get to the edge that matches my nail. So like that. Okay, now this is the shape that I like when it comes to doing hard gel. I like my square nails. These tend to get a little bit sharp on the edges, so I'm gonna go for squovels by just literally passing my file slightly on the edge that's sharp, just to remove any sharp edges, because I hate scratching when it hurts. So that helps. There you go, I have my nail, and my nail is well protected, and I have a beautiful edge and nail to work on. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete this hand, and I'll come back and show you guys. Before, after. I use the clear hard gel, as you may have noticed from the beginning. It even says clear there. There is hard gel that is skin color, or it has some type of tone to it, like a nudish tone. So if you want to get that, you can. Especially it helps when you're like your first time using hard gel, because this is a little bit hard to see once you're doing like the edges and stuff, since it is clear. Sometimes it can be a little hard to see where the gel is. I started off with clear gel, so now I'm kind of used to it, but my first time I did hard gel nails, they were rough. I'm not gonna lie to you, but this is the final product on this hand, at least with like just doing the nail shape. And you can see they're slightly longer. I wish I had like a different color that I could show you behind. Well, I think you can kind of see it there. As you can see, they're longer than my own natural nails. Like you still see where my nail ends, wherever my nails were long. And yeah, so this is that. Let me go ahead and do this nail, and then I'll come back and show you guys the painted process. My painting is normal. Just apply a base coat, paint whatever your design or whatever you want to do, and then top coat, and they dry normally. When it comes to the nail polish that I use the Beetle brand that you can find on Amazon. Let me get a nail polish for you. It looks like this, the Beetles brand. It's really good. The only thing is that when you're using this to dry, you have to change the timing, because the 90 will make this a sticky top, versus drying it at 60, it will dry it the correct way. So that's definitely one thing to look out for. But yeah, so this is how I do my nails. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one to show you guys the completed product. And then I'll show you just like a quick clip of my nails fully done, like painted and everything. And yeah, so once I have my nails fully done, I like to go with the edges with this bit. This is, like I said earlier, the cuticle bit that is still gentle, but just cleans up around the edges to seal in the nail. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with that, just to, again, maybe if I have like a lump or something, it'll get rid of it and just like clean the edges. When it comes time to paint the nail, I don't have to worry about there being like an ugly bump that maybe I didn't notice or something. I try my best not to do that when I'm doing the base of the nail, but you know, sometimes things get away. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this one on the edge just to seal the cuticles, like I said already.